Okay, in this video, we're going to take a real quick look at how we would do break-even analysis in Excel. You'll notice I've set up in my usual fashion an area for assumptions. I've kind of shaded them in. So let's do a couple problems and see how simple this is. Let's suppose we have fixed costs. Now, one of the things you're going to have to do when you get these kind of problems is understand what are fixed costs and which are variable costs. Things like rent, utilities are fixed costs. They don't change with the volume of the product that gets sold. So let's say we have a rent of say $5,000 a month, utility costs of $500. Right? So those are fixed. You notice I've named this cell fixed costs. Another one of my recommendations, but in this case, my fixed costs are going to be that plus that. So those are my fixed costs. What are variable costs? Well, if I'm manufacturing things, the materials that go into it are variable costs, and so is the labor. Again, the variable costs are those things that if I don't make any, I don't have any costs. So if I don't make any shirts, I have no materials, I got no labor costs. As soon as I start making them, I do have costs, and I have to account for them. These are my cost of goods on a variable basis. All right, well, what are my material costs? Let's suppose my material costs, I'm making this stuff. Oh, we're going to look at operating leverage. Let's see how that works. Let's suppose I'm making something that has high fixed costs and low variable costs. So my variable costs might be $5. I'm making, I don't know what I'm making, gloves. And they're $5 and it costs me $10 in labor to make them. So my total variable costs are going to be equal to this plus this plus this. And again, I've named it variable costs. Just so you can see this, let's do this again. And those are really C's, so make sure you know that. Okay. That's that formula. And this formula looks just like that. And that's a C. And that's a C. All right, so that's how I get those. Easy enough. My selling price. What do I sell these for? Oh, let's say I sell them for $25 each. All right, so I have high fixed costs relative to my variable costs. All right, what's my break even in terms of units? Break even in units. Let's calculate that out. Well, it's equal to my fixed costs. I have to cover those, right? Divided by my selling price minus my total variable costs. A way to think of this again is this is my contribution margin on a per unit basis. Every time I sell something, here's how much profit I make per unit, not counting all my other expenses. So my break-even unit is 550 units. Copy this one over. Okay, so that's how we calculate that. How about break-even dollars? How many dollars worth of stuff do I need to sell? I'm going to cheat. I don't like that formula. I mean, it's okay. But why don't I just say, well, I got to sell this much. Oops. I have to sell this much at this price. So my break-even dollars is $13,750. Okay. So notice I have to sell with a relatively high fixed cost, low operating leverage, but I have high fixed costs. Now, let's suppose, though, it works the other way around. Let's suppose my materials are $500. My labor costs are $600. And I sell this, I got to sell it for more than $25. And I sell this for, $2,200. Now you'll see that my variable costs are going higher relative to this. So my break-even units, I only have to sell 5 of them to break even. That's the notion of operating risk. Right? I have to sell, and have to sell these 5 at $2,200 means $11,000 is what I have to sell them at. Let me go over that one more time, more slowly. The fact that my break-even number is 5 means I have less risk. I only have to sell 5 units, so I have less risk. And the reason I have less risk is because my variable costs, well, let me phrase it out, because my fixed costs are smaller relative to my variable costs. And if I go back to what I had before, what did I have before? Something like $5 and $10, and I sold them for $25. What happened? Oh, sorry, don't want to do that. 25 goes here. I have to sell many more units at a higher price. So this number is low relative to that, and therefore I have more operating risk. So the formula is relatively straightforward. Hope you can remember that, and hope you remember the principle of operating leverage.